Now we'll study the last concept in this chapter, work, energy, power, that is collisions. What is collision? We know that in our daily life, whenever two objects are in physical contact, then those two objects are said to be in collision. If two vehicles are in physical contact, then we are going to say that those two vehicles are collided each other. So we have one object here and another object. If there is a physical contact between them, if it is moving towards this one, then those two objects are said to be in collision. If two objects are in physical contact, then obviously we call it as they are collided. Best example, two ivory balls, collision between two ivory balls. In the billiard games, a cue ball is going to collide with the other balls. In carom board, head is going to strike with the pawns. So these are all collisions. There is a physical contact between the two objects. There is one more type. Even without any physical contact, if there is a deviation of their path, then also those two objects are said to be in collision. The best example, a comet is entering towards our solar system. It is going to deviate its path. It's going to deviate its path because of the interaction with the solar gravity. So then also those two objects are said to be in collision. In atom level also we are going to deal with this type of collision. Even though there is no physical contact, because of the electrostatic force or the nuclear forces, they are going to deviate their paths. Then also the collision is said to be done. Therefore, the collision is said to be happened if the two objects are in physical contact, or even without physical contact, if there is a deviation in their path, then the collision has taken to be happened, said to be happened. Now we will study the types of collision. Now first is elastic collision. Elastic collision. During collision, so many concepts are going to interact. Among them we are going to consider two important ones, that is momentum and kinetic energy. These two are very important. In any type of collision, momentum is always conserved. That is, momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. Momentum before is equal to momentum after collision. That always conserves. So if two objects are going to interact, if you calculate the momentum before interaction, and if you calculate what is the momentum after the interaction or the collision, now these two quantities remains equal. That is, momentum is conserved. And second one is kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of those two interacting particles before collision, if it is equal to kinetic energy of those two interacting particles after the collision, if the kinetic energy of the system remains constant, that is the conservation of kinetic energy. Now in the case of an elastic collision, these two quantities are conserved. The momentum gets conserved and the kinetic energy also gets conserved. If that is the case, then that type of collision we call it as elastic collision. So best example is the collision between two ivory balls without having any friction. It is elastic collision, almost nearly equal to elastic collision. Really no very good. Another one is inelastic collision. Now all the collisions which are happening in our universe are almost inelastic. A very few cases are elastic collisions. The collision between any two objects, collision between the automobiles, collision between two vehicles, collision between two balls. Now these are all comes under inelastic collision. Then what is inelastic collision? Now in a collision, if momentum gets conserved, by default momentum is always conserved. But kinetic energy is not conserved. By default, momentum gets always conserved in any type of collision. But if kinetic energy is not conserved, what is that meaning? The kinetic energy before collision is not supposed to equal to kinetic energy of the system after collision. Then that type of collision we call it as inelastic collision. So momentum conserve agtane, kinetic energy conserve agalla. So kinetic energy conserve agalla andre very simple meaning. Initial kinetic energy minus the final kinetic energy. There is a loss of energy. Collision ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ kinetic energy of the system ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. Collision ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ kinetic energy of the system decrease ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. Kinetic initial kinetic energy minus final kinetic energy, that should be is equal to change in kinetic energy. That type, if that is the case, then that type of collision we call it as inelastic collision. So here momentum as well as kinetic energy both are conserved. But in the case of inelastic collision, momentum gets conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. The meaning is very simple. In case of inelastic collision, obviously there is a loss of kinetic energy. That loss of kinetic energy is in the form of heat and sound. So ಎರಡು collision ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು heat produce ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ sound release ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That is because of loss of kinetic energy. That is inelastic collision. Now one more collision is there, that is perfectly inelastic. Or it is also called as plastic collision. This is first one, second one, and third one. Now this perfectly inelastic or plastic collision is nothing but an inelastic collision. Momentum gets conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. The difference is, after collision, those two objects stick together and move with the same speed or velocity. If that is the case, then that is called as perfectly inelastic collision. Now here I am having a first object here which is moving towards a second object which is at rest. Okay. Now after collision, if those two objects stick together and move with a common velocity, they are moving with a common velocity. If that is the case, and that type of collision we call it as perfectly inelastic collision. And one more thing is there, a special case, that is head-on collision. That means if two objects collide each other, after the collision, if they travel in the same direction as that of the incident direction along a straight line, ಎರಡು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ವಾ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅವನು ಬಂದು ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಲೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡೂ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡೂ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, then that type of collision we call it as head-on collision or one-dimensional collision. Head-on collision ಅಥವಾ one-dimensional collision ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು be in a direction exactly center of the second object. Second object na center ಗೆ correct ಗೆ first object move ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ obviously head on collision ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ collision ಹೇಳಿ. Now these are the types of collision. Now we are going to derive important derivations for two cases. One is inelastic collision and second perfectly inelastic collision, and second one is for an elastic collision. Now we will consider perfectly inelastic collision in one dimension, that is before collision and after collision the objects are moving in the same direction. Okay, now here we are going to obtain an expression for loss of kinetic energy in perfectly inelastic collision. For that one, please look at that diagram. Now here we have an object of mass m1 which is moving with an initial velocity v1i. v1 is the velocity of the first object, I is initial velocity. Now let me consider the second object is at rest, m2 is at rest, therefore its velocity is 0. Now towards the second object, the first object is moving. Now during collision they meet each other. Since it is completely inelastic collision or perfectly inelastic collision, after the collision they stick together and both are moving with the common velocity vf. First object to v1i velocity ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದ, ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಇಬ್ರು ಸೈಮಲ್ಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ವಿತ್ ಎ ಕಾಮನ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ vf. ಸೊ ಈ ಕೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್, the momentum is default, it is conserved, but kinetic energy is not at all conserved. ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? There is a loss of kinetic energy. A loss of kinetic energy ಗೆ what is the expression for loss of kinetic energy, that we will do. Now by the law of conservation of momentum, law of conservation of momentum. Now momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. It should be is equal to momentum after collision. That is the first thing. Now what is the momentum of the first object? It is mass into its velocity v1i, plus what is the momentum of the second object? Since the second object is at rest, its momentum is 0. This is momentum before collision. Now what is the momentum after collision? Those two objects are moving with the same velocity, therefore momentum after collision, it is m1 plus m2, both are moving with the same speed, final velocity vf. So it is one relation. From this one we will get what is vf? We get m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into v1i. We got a simple relation. The final velocity of those two, the common velocity of those two objects after collision is given by this simple relation. Now from the conservation of kinetic energy, we will get one more equation. Now what is the kinetic energy before collision? It is half m v1i square, kinetic energy of the first object. What is the kinetic energy of the second object? It is 0 because it is at rest. Now after collision, kinetic energy is given by both are moving with the common speed vf, therefore we will get m1 plus m2 vf square. This is kinetic energy before collision and kinetic energy after collision. Since it is inelastic collision, these two are not at all equal. The kinetic energy is more, the kinetic energy before collision is more, the kinetic energy after collision is decreased. Therefore, loss of kinetic energy, if I write it, delta K is equal to Ki, initial kinetic energy, minus Kf, final kinetic energy. What is initial kinetic energy? This one, half m v1 I square minus half m1 plus m2 vf square. Okay. Now here substituting for vf ಗೆ equation ಇಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ substitution ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು simplify ಮಾಡಿ. Therefore delta k is equal to first term half m1 v1 I square minus half m1 plus m2 vf square. Substitute this one. So we get m1 square v1 I square divided by m1 plus m2 whole square. V square ಗೆ substitution ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. Now take out the common things. What are the common things here? Half m1 is here m1 square, therefore m1 is taken out. v1 I square common, therefore if I take that as common, m1 v1 I square, it is common. Now here I am left with 1 minus, now look here, m1 plus m2 and 1 m1 plus m2 get cancels. What is the remaining? In m1 square we have taken only m1, the next is m1 is remaining here. In the denominator we are having m1 plus m2. Now just simplify this one, it is half m1 v1 I square cross multiplying m1 plus m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2. Now plus m1 minus m1 get cancels. Therefore, the loss of kinetic energy is given by the formula half m1 into m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into v1I square. Now this is the derivation we have needed. Now the loss of kinetic energy in the case of completely inelastic collision is calculated by simply using this relation half m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into v1I square. Now this may be asked for 3 marks. Obtain the expression for loss of kinetic energy in case of completely inelastic collision in one dimension. Clear? Now we will study elastic collision in one dimension. What is elastic collision? In the collision, both momentum as well as kinetic energy are conserved. One dimension, that means they are taking along a straight line. Now consider an object of mass m1 moving with an initial velocity v1I. It is moving towards the second object of mass m2 which is at rest. Therefore velocity v2I is the velocity of the second object. I stands for initial, that is before collision. Now after collision both are moving with different velocities. So let me call this one as m1 is moving with the final velocity, therefore f stands for final. v1f, v1I initial velocity of the first object particle, v1f after the collision final velocity of the first particle. m2 is also moving, it is also moving with some other different velocities, that is v2f as shown in the diagram. Now we have to obtain the expression for what is v2f, what is v1f and v2f in terms of initial velocity and their masses. Now by the conservation of momentum, that is momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. Now what is the momentum of the first object before collision? That is m1 v1I plus what is the momentum of the second object? Since it is at rest, it is 0. Now after collision, what is the momentum of the first object? m1 v1 f. F is the final velocity. And m2 is also moving. That is m2 v2 f. We have got the first equation from the conservation of momentum. Now taking m1 terms on one side, this is the idea. We have to take m1 on one side. Therefore, m1, so v1I minus, if I take this side, it becomes minus, it is v1f. It should be is equal to m2 v2 f. Now call this is equation 1, call this as equation 2, call this as equation 1. 1 antad kariva by conservation of momentum. Now by conservation of kinetic energy, since it is elastic collision, kinetic energy is conserved. Therefore, what is the kinetic energy of the first object? Half m1 v1I square plus kinetic energy of the second object before collision. So that is 0 because it is at rest. Now this is before collision. Now this one is after collision. Okay. Look here. Now what is the kinetic energy of the first object after collision? It is half m1 v1 f square plus kinetic energy of the second object after collision, half m2 v2 f square. Now half is common on both sides, therefore half get cancels. Here also use the same technique. Combining m1 terms on one side, I will get m1 v1I square minus v1 f square. It should be is equal to, on the right hand side I am getting only m2 v2 f square. Call this as equation 2. From momentum I have got equation 1. From conservation of kinetic energy, here kinetic energy is conserved because it is elastic collision. So I have got equation 2. Now equation 2 divided by 1. Equation 2 divided by 1 gives. Now 2 is m1. So m1 v1I square minus v1 f square divided by equation 2. Equation 1 left hand side. m1 v1I minus v1 f. It should be equal to. Right hand side of the second equation, m2 v2 f square divided by m2 v2 f. Now m1 get cancels, m2 get cancels, v2 f 1 v2 f get cancels. So look here, v1 I square minus v1 f square. It is of the form a square minus b square. What is a square minus b square? It is a plus b into a minus b. By using that relation, if I expand this one, v1I plus v1f into v1I minus v1f divided by v1I minus v1f on the left hand side. Right hand side I have left with v2f. Now these two terms get cancels. So therefore I have got one important relation, v2f is equal to v1I plus v1f. Very important relation, call this as equation 3. After the collision, the second particle which is at rest initially, it starts moving with a velocity whose velocity is given by the velocity of the first particle before collision plus the velocity of the first particle after collision. Very, very, very important relation. You should remember that one. Now substituting that one in equation 1 and obtain the expression for V1F. Or substitute in any other equations. E equations alladru aitu, e equations alladru aitu adanna substitution ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So V2F ಗೆ ನಾವು substitution ಮಾಡುವ equation 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ substituting 3 in 1. ಈ 3 ಅನ್ನ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ substitution ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು simplify ಮಾಡುವ. So M1 V1I minus M1 V1F is equal to M2 into unit V1I plus V1F. Now from this relation solve for V1F, final velocity of the first object. So M1 V1I minus M1 V1F is equal to M2 V1I plus M2 V1F. Take V1I terms on one side and V1F on another side. That means now this term comes here and this term goes there. Okay, that arrangement if I made, therefore M1 minus M2 V1I is common, therefore V1I it should be is equal to, now minus M1 V1F get transferred to the right hand side, it becomes plus, and V1F is common, therefore M1 plus M2 V1F. Therefore the final velocity of the first object in terms of known values is given by M1 minus M2 divided by M1 plus M2 into V1I. This is important relation. V1F. Okay. Now similarly we have to obtain the expression for V2F. Obtain the expression for V2F. Now from this relation, if I take what is V1F is equal to V2F minus V1I. From the relation 3, V1F is given by V2F minus V1I. If I substitute that one in either equation 1 or 2 and simplifying that one, now here I am replacing V1F by V2F minus V1I. So therefore M1 V1I is equal to M1, it is V2F minus V1I, V2F minus V1I plus M2 V2F. Now take V2F on one side and V1I on the other side. Now this one M1 V1I M1 plus V1I minus of minus plus, that is 2 M1 V1I I am getting is equal to M1 plus M2 M1 plus M2 V2F. Therefore the final velocity of the second object V2F is equal to 2M1 V1 divided by M1 plus M2. These are the two important relations. Now this is the final velocity of the first object in terms of the known values, M1 minus M2 divided by M1 plus M2 into V1I. Final velocity of the second object in terms of the known values, 2 into M1 V1 divided by M1 plus M2. Now we are going to study some special cases here. Case 1. We will assume that the two objects are having the same mass. M1 is equal to M2 is equal to M. Say, ಎರಡು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಮಾಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. If that is the case, if I substitute here, m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m1 minus m2 becomes 0. Therefore, v1f is equal to 0. ಏನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಎರಡೂ ಮಾಸು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಾದ್ರೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಅರ್ಥ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು rest. The final velocity of the first particle becomes 0. Now what about the velocity of the second particle? Now for that one I have to substitute here. Now here m1 and m2 are equal, therefore v2f is equal to 2 into m1 is m because we have taken, so it is v1i divided by m plus m. Now m plus m is 2m, therefore 2m v1i divided by 2m get cancels, therefore v2f is equal to v1i. That is the first case. Second particle, which is initially at rest, starts moving with the velocity of the first particle. ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎರಡೂ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಮಾಸು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಾದ್ರೆ, ಅದೆರಡು ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಯಾವ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿತ್ ದ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ 1. Similarly we study the case 2. One more important case, that is case 2. If the second object or second particle is very large, its mass is very greater than that of the first one. ಇವನು ಹೆವಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಇವನು ಲೈಟ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ. If m2 is very much greater than m1, then m1 by m2 is nearly is equal to 0. m2 is very much greater than m1 ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಾದ್ರೆ m1 by m2 ರೇಷಿಯೋ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇದು ನಿಯರ್ಲಿ 0 ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ವಾ ಆ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. therefore v1f ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ if I take m2 common is m1 by m2 minus 1 v1i divided by denominator ಅಷ್ಟೇ m2 ಕಾಮನ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು m1 ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ m1 ಪ್ಲಸ್ m2 ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ 1 ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು m2 get cancels. As I have told, m1 by m2 is taken as 0, ಈ ಟರ್ಮು 0 ಆಯ್ತು, ಈ ಟರ್ಮು 0 plus 1 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is 1 ಮೈನಸ್ ಉಳಿತು. therefore v1f is equal to minus v1i. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದೋ ಅದೇ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಸೈನ್. velocity of the first particle before collision as well as after collision here remains the same. ಆದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದೋ ಅದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ನೌ ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಈ ಕೇಸಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಗೆ now from this relation if I take once again here m2 common, second particle ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ m2 common ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ 2 into m1 v1i. in the denominator if I take m2 common, m1 by m2 plus 1. look here, m1 by m2 0, here is also m1 by m2 0, therefore second particle remains at rest. So second case careful ಆಗಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹೆವಿಯರ್ ಮಾಸು, ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಲೈಟರ್ ಮಾಸು. ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. but in negative direction. But second particle ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, because of the heavy mass, its velocity is zero. ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ. Now these are the two important cases in the case of elastic collision in one dimension. So similarly we will study the elastic collision in the case of a two dimension. A two dimensional case ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಒನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಒನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ m1, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ m2. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಬಟ್ ಟೂ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ θ1 ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ θ2 ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಆಗ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟೂ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Now that completes this very interesting chapter, work, energy and power.